got an A. You did do good. I feel like yours got. What extracurriculars?
Boss ladies, that's my step team, and I'm an RA.
Okay. That is good. Stressful relationships.
Come on there. All my arrows don't go back.
Right. It is almost like a map in a maze. It does look a lot better in person. That's fine. Because like the picture only gives you like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's partly. I do like yours. I like everything you have on here. Do you want to go to graduate school?
Think about it.
You don't have to.
I don't think you have to.
Well, because in social work you can get a license without a master's. When do you all graduate?
2024.
So you have like a year and a half left.
Yeah.
Okay. That is often my default because A is a A is a A. And then there are often folks that, was it on time too? That might have been.
Because I turned mine in probably like 4 days before.
Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to ask.
I know. It is an A, so I know that it's a weird A as you're like, no, why can't I? I did have people even give me a hard time. I used to often give like 90 something because I always wanted to like strive for more no matter what you do, like just to talk about it. But let me think about this. What do I do all day? School, church is on there or something. School, the boss ladies. What is that?
I'm on a step team.
Okay. Is it here?
Mhm.
Local? Like central? Okay. So, gosh, I'm trying to think of the other.
I don't do much. Well, I feel like I do a lot.
I know sometimes it's hard to capture it all though. So you're right. It's very hard to capture it. What about for like homecoming? What will you do then? Nothing. Where are you working?
I'm RA.
So do they give you full room and board and tuition for that? Okay. Did you at least get an A on the genogram too?
Yeah, I got 100 on that.
Oh,
Why I was like,
okay.
but it's fine.
So now you have like a 95. That's what you're, okay, I could see that. And we want to have, we'll submit it again since we talked about it. And if you submit it again, it reminds me that we've talked about it.
Okay.
So do that. So at least we've talked about it. It shows that you're like, maybe that's why I do it, just so that we talk about it. Like, let's talk about your science and future and if you highlight it. Did you turn yours in time? The midterms are tomorrow.
No, I'm about to turn it in today.
Okay. So I graded everything, but I'm giving you guys like
Okay, I'm gonna turn it in.
a grace period, but it will go to automatic default 0, and I set it too early yesterday too.
Because I meant to turn it in yesterday, but I keep getting my room changed, so I'll be.
Really?
Yeah, she got his room changed 3 times.
Why?
Because they keep putting me in rooms. Well, I was in the ones, then I got approved to go to the new apartment, but they kept putting me in rooms with people that have accommodations. So I kept kind of having to leave.
That's kind of annoying, isn't it? You all get your own rooms too, like.
No.
I get my room because I'm RA, but
Oh yeah.
Well, now I have a single, but like I'm in a suite with 2 other guys.
Okay. Okay. So yes, maybe that's what now that we've talked through it, what I want to do is talk about your genogram with you. So if you prompt me to talk about it.
you can go to the bathroom.
All right, let me do this. We've already watched Dr. Nadine Burke.
She is so hot.
She is? Or it is? I said we watched Dr. Nadine Burke, I heard.
You heard hot.
She is so hot. That's what I heard him say.
No, it's hot.
Okay, it's hot. I'm just checking. That's funny. Oh, have I shown you guys the nonviolent communication cards yet? Nonviolent communication cards. I have them right here. All right. I'm going to do the ACEs video real fast first because you've already seen Nadine Burke Harris. Hello, Adria. Videos. All right. Yeah, I just drank too much coffee. So let me play. It's only 4 minutes. Here we go. All right. See, I need to figure that out. It's a good, we use them in groups, so practice too. I drank too much coffee, so I'll be right back.
Mhm. Take your time.
He is so
I have class at 8 today,
It's
so
not playing, is it? I didn't even hear it. Dang it.
that's class. Isn't that's gonna be a term B class, isn't it?
Human behavior in the social environment,
Wait, I could be one.
HBSE 2.
I think I got that one, Jackie.
Hi, this is my neighborhood. I grew up in this building.
What's this one called?
This is a great community
HBS.
now, but it's had its share of problems.
This is
When I was a kid, our community had high unemployment, a lack of resources for families, and lots of kids hanging out with no adult supervision. You might have heard about adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. ACEs are traumatic events in childhood, like abuse and neglect, that can increase risk for future problems. But they don't have to. The good news is that ACEs and their consequences can be prevented. Take me, for example. I was at risk for ACEs, and despite all the things that put me at risk, some pretty incredible people helped make sure I wouldn't become another statistic. Come on, I'll show you around. That's Jackson. He's a cool kid. His dad left when he was 2, and his mom works 2 jobs. I hang out with him every Thursday night and help him with his homework. Sometimes we grab ice cream. It's fun. Plus, he has another adult role model to learn from and trust. That's Mr. Martinez. When I was a kid, he let me help him at the store sometimes after school when my parents were working late. He did that for a bunch of us. My dad actually found his job as a mechanic because of Mr. Martino. It's helped our family in so many ways. Not only did my dad have a steady paycheck, which eased his stress about paying rent and buying necessities like food and clothes, but he was also a lot nicer to me, my brother, and my mom once he started working a job that made him feel good about himself. When communities come together, they can do so much to prevent ACEs. Mr. Martino and other local business owners put together a series of career workshops to help people like my dad find work. My mom also got a job with a company that allowed her to work from home and spend more time with me and my brother. Mariana has just gotten out of a class about handling challenges of single parenting. The clinic offers free childcare so Mariana's daughter, Ella, can play while Mariana's in class. The class helps parents like Mariana develop positive parenting skills, not just for babies and toddlers, but for teenagers too. This is another way our community has come together to give families the resources they need, and just one more way to prevent ACEs. This was my school, Riverside Middle, right in the heart of town. These kids are here for a sponsored summer camp. This community-supported program helps families with affordable, quality childcare and helps kids get tutoring and learn life skills. When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time at this school all year long. There was one counselor, Miss Greer, who I remember more than anyone. She was a really good listener. Miss Greer helped me and my brother get involved in after-school activities like baseball and soccer. Our coaches were super nice and were mentors to us. Staying after school for practice kept us and a lot of other kids out of trouble. When schools help take responsibility for preventing ACEs, everybody wins. My life has gone in a completely different direction. Studies show that ACEs can have long-term negative effects on kids' health and well-being that may last into adulthood and even continue in future generations. But by people and groups taking action, ACEs can be prevented. In fact, there are 5 known strategies that help stop ACEs before they even start. You can implement them in your own community, just like we did. How? By strengthening economic support for families, by changing social norms to support parents in positive parenting, by providing quality care and education early in life, by enhancing parenting skills to promote healthy child development, and by intervening to lessen harms and prevent future risk. So, now you know my story, and you've seen the prevention strategies in my community that helped me beat the odds. I had healthy relationships with my family and friends. I learned how to take care of myself and make good choices. And today, I'm a mentor to other kids who who need some extra help so they don't become an ACEs statistic. Safe, stable, and nurturing relationships and environments are essential to prevent child abuse and neglect and to assure that all kids reach their full potential. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Banana split? You got it.
So why do you guys think we talk so much about adverse childhood experiences in social work? Trauma, ACEs.
I feel like because when it comes to, I feel like when it comes to everyone, it's like the nurture versus nature conversation, like the environment that someone is surrounded by is important and it do impact them a lot. So I feel like when it comes to certain things that kids can go through, I feel like it could easily, I'm not gonna say easily, it could be avoided in some type of way. Like in some way, like just giving a kid a smile or just sitting down and talking to them can help get them through a lot of stuff, just simple things like that. So I feel like the environment that they're surrounded by and the attention that is given to them is really important, and it can not eliminate, but try to prevent.
Yes. All of those that you answered. Have any of you guys ever taken the ACE quiz? You don't need to out yourself, but this is why they have those. Oh, that's the actual test. So if you want to take it online, that is where you take it. Most of us have 2, 3, or 4 ACEs. It is very common. And then, oh, maybe it's the NPR site. It really breaks down why ACEs. So they've been doing research. Yeah, this is it. So there are 3 types of ACEs. Abuse, it could be physical, emotional, or sexual. Neglect, there's physical and emotional, and then household dysfunction, which is very common. Divorce is the most common, like 2/3 of us have experienced that. Mental illness is also common. It's like 25%. Incarcerated relative, substance abuse, or mother treated violently. Then here is the increased health risk. So some of the behaviors we do to maybe cope with that: lack of physical activity, smoking, alcoholism, drug use, or missed work. And then some physical and mental health, which is all the things we address as social workers. Obesity, diabetes, depression, suicide attempts. Dr. Nadine Harrisberg said 12 times more likely to have an attempt at suicide if you have a lot of ACEs. STDs, broken bones, COPD, stroke, cancer, and heart disease. And she's saying even if it's not because we're coping with smoking, you'll have more heart disease and COPD and even strokes and even cancer. She's saying just because of what it physiologically does to your body, like it makes your body develop differently. And so a lot of the things we treat in social work do come from the ACEs, the adverse childhood experience things. Hello, Adriel, Gianna, Brittany, Keisha, Keith, and Lakira. Okay, cool. So you guys have your sheet memorized yet? How you can get out on time? Or early. Somebody's finishing in 3.5 years again. We keep it out all these social workers finishing in 3.5 years.
Are we allowed to get that?
This? Yeah. Yeah, of course.
That's our checklist.
Where we get it from?
If you, it's at the chair of the department, but if you just send me an email, I'll find a file to attach to reply back to you. Just say, send the check sheet. Because you're all juniors, right? What'd you say?
You said just send the check.
Right, just email me and I'll reply. I usually reply as fast as I can remember. Sometimes I miss them as I get so much email throughout the
These are social work.
9 of them.
Yeah, and it's saying how many credits each class is, and then you put the year and the semester that you take it. So I fall to it to English one. I put the grades that I got in that class. So every every time I take a new class,
You keep adding them on.
yeah, I keep adding them on in my grades. So like for next semester when I register for classes, I go in and look at what class I need to take next semester. And some of them got prerequisites and stuff. But I know like if I'm taking this in spring 2022, then I need to put spring 2022 so I know I'm taking that.
And then, are you seniors next year?
Yeah.
So after you start your senior year, if you send me that sheet up to date and then we send it on for audit, that's how they tell you when you'll graduate. If it is spring of 2024 or fall of 2023, that would be crazy. But some people are finishing, they did 1818, 4, 1818, 5, and 1818, maybe one more summer of 6, and they're done like in 3.5 years. So
So
you,
how come we don't talk about field practice like in classes, like just to get ready for it? Because I
We
know
can.
from other people
yeah.
that are seniors that's been taking it, but I don't really hear like, oh, you have to take this, or like some people like, oh, you have to have an internship before you can do yada yada yada. Yeah.
Well, even furthermore, because we put it on pause during the pandemic, we have a social work application on the social work website too. And it's just really, why do you want to do social work? So it's just like kind of, have you done your first few classes? And then yes, field is a requirement. So it's actually, do you see how many credit hours it is?
Maybe 12.
Yeah. And then you have the class associated with it. So that whole semester, you got 15 hours dedicated to just
So
field.
is it, so don't you take that in the last semester, or is like the semester before the last?
Some people do it in the fall. It's
Yeah,
up to you. If you'd rather do it in the fall, you can, or if
So
you
would
want.
that be like the only thing you're doing? That's like the only two like things for the not the internship, but the field practice and then the class that go with it. That's the only two things on your schedule.
She lets you take one online class if you have to. So you could take 18 hours, but it is a lot because
So
you're
it's like a
doing.
job that you're doing for real.
It is pretty much a job, and if
Is it
you,
nice? Like, is it? Well, I don't
it has all the options. We just this year added that if you wanted to do it through the Child Protective Services, there's a $5,000 stipend to do that field. That's kind of exciting to a lot. And then if you took a job after you graduate with Child Protective Services, they give you a $5,000 sign-on bonus. I guess that's what it's called. That's a new field we added. We have dozens of other places you could go. Like,
know. I know my friends, they like doing the juvenile.
yes, the courts.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's like cool.
Yeah, so that's one you can do. Most of us didn't get paid for our field. I didn't get paid. I got mileage because I did it where I had to do home visits and stuff. So they'll give you mileage.
That's what I want to do.
Home visits. I bet in CPS you do home visits too.
See, my sister, she's not a social worker. She's in school to be like a nurse,
Mhm.
but like she has a job where she's some type of therapist. Like she works with autistic kids. And
Okay.
like, she go in and do home visit stuff, and I think that's cool. You know, I know she don't do like a social worker. But I think that's nice for her to go get those skills. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool that we get that trained that way. I did 3 of them in graduate school, but because you all started here and were accredited, you do your 400-hour internship here your senior year, and then you do like 2 of the 250s after that. I had to do 3 300-hour internships during graduate school to get an MSW and LSW. Also, most places you will try to begin applying to for graduate school by this time next year, because if you want to apply to see where they have money, your senior year, December, if you get it in by then, some places say they won't consider you for scholarships if you turn in your application after December, which seems way early, but you start in May right after you graduate. So it's like right there. You walk, what is that, May 7th? You might start grad school May 15th. Yeah. But then you're done in 1 year.
Okay, so I know like we gotta get our license and stuff if we want to, but
Right.
I recommend it. So all the classes we're taking now, like that's preparing us for that, or is is it like one class that just say like, hey, this is us practicing? Like, you know how,
Field is where she practices the licensure
because
test.
like I know, like when you take the ACT, like you do ACT practice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't it like hard?
It is hard, yeah. Like we,
If you fail, you can't take it again.
you could take it again.
How many times can you take it?
Like 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just expensive, but you could take it as many times you want, I guess.
That's scary.
It is. Now, graduate school sometimes prepares you even more for it because you take that first MSW, LSW. That's what I had to do. But yeah, some people wait until after they have the master's degree to get it. Now, those who aren't getting the master's, you have the option to take it as early as January your senior year. You're allowed to take the licensure exam your last semester of BSW. So if you want to take it in a year and 3 months, you can.
So when you say I get my bachelor's,
Mm-hmm.
get my license, take the test, get my license, and then go for MSW, I gotta take a different test?
For independent license, we all had to take a
Yeah.
different test.
Yeah.
So I took my bachelor's level test, even though I had a master's, went after I had graduated. And then when you work 2 years somewhere, you're eligible after 2 years of supervision to take the independent license test. And that way you never need to be supervised again. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. So I did it, even though I never wanted to take a licensure exam or anything like that in my entire life. That was the tough part. Crazy though. Any other questions about your license, graduate school, when to apply, how to apply, all that fun stuff?
So how did you get to like, you said you went to where? Nicaragua?
I did go to Nicaragua. I feel like we have an office similar to that, and they're upstairs that set you guys up to do a study abroad, even if it is just a summer trip. I did El Salvador in the summer. Nicaragua for me was a whole entire semester abroad. So the office upstairs, have you ever seen that place? They're basically our international travel office. So if you wanted to do a semester abroad, they help hook you up with those things, which is exciting. Yeah, that is, or you could do the Peace Corps after you graduate. Some people do that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do city year.
CITI?
Yeah.
What is
No, CITI.
CITY?
Yeah, city year. So basically, it's like I would go to school and work there for a year, and like they would train me and stuff. And yeah, I think.
What's that all about? I don't know if I've heard of it.
I think they're part of AmeriCorps. That's what it is.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
going to say. AmeriCorps you can do without a bachelor's.
Yeah.
Peace Corps you have to have a bachelor's. Okay.
And so I'm like, because my best friends live in Texas, and
Okay.
they got them in different cities. And I'm from Milwaukee, and they have one in Milwaukee. I know people have done it in Milwaukee, but I want to move to the state and do it, and then see.
Just for a summer?
Yeah, no,
Is
it's like for the whole year.
Oh, so after you graduate?
Year. Mm-hmm. So like after I graduate, I
Huh.
want to move to Texas, do that, and then after my year, I can either do another year, but I feel like, you know how entry level jobs be, it's hard to get a job when you have no
Yes.
experience. So I feel like that's the best way for me to get my experience. And it's usually like a gap year program.
Right.
Like if I want to take a year off of school.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, but I want to do it after I graduate so I can have my degree already. But
And you could be working on your MSW online
yeah,
while
exactly.
if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
You could do
classes
both.
online or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I know like some people, they they take the year off of school. Damn, I was about to say something. But yeah, I feel like it's good to get that experience before I just go straight into the social work world.
Right. And hopefully the practicum does give you some of that. It won't give you
Yeah.
all of it, but it just like lets you see that you don't want to do, say,
Right.
a certain job, or that you do want to do a different variation of the job or something like
I
that.
love the resume builder.
Yeah.
They got cool jackets. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Senior people, they got good, cool jackets. And it's like they work with like at-risk youth and stuff. I know people in my city that have really like, they love the program. And I've been seeing them, 'cause I worked at a nonprofit summer camp since I was 14.
Okay.
So seeing people go from that program to a different program and still having like ties with each other.
Mhm.
Process. So they give you a little stipend. My advice will teach me how to live by my means, like
Mhm.
that, how to budget and stuff.
Right.
This your resume?
Yeah.
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 That
So
resume.
have you guys done one yet?
I have a little, you know.
Right.
Right.
So it used to be you wanted just a page and a half at maximum. But the problem in academia is they want you to put everything on there.
Yeah, which is so hard.
So my upbringing was, and I'm in academia now, so everything in academia goes first. But so in undergrad, I even did like volunteer stuff that you could put on there, like
Yeah,
psychology, and it actually was. And then here's all the little jobs that I have worked at.
You
So
were a clinical social worker?
I still am.
What?
Yeah.
Like meds and stuff? Or
So we would work with the psychiatrist. Meds, you have to get a medical degree for. You become a psychiatrist with a MD, but we work with the psychiatrist a lot, talk with them about their behaviors and whatnot. I still do it at, that's interesting. It's like trimmed. Okay, it's up here. That's weird. Because I also, this looks like an old one, or I like deleted some stuff, but oh, because it's 2013. I thought for some reason I had picked the right one, but here we go. We'll get a more updated one. I don't want anything from 2013, do I? And then you update your resume every single time you add something in. That's really funny. Okay, this is probably more updated because this is like my finished degrees. And then if you're into teaching, you put all your teaching stuff first in places you've taught at. But as a social worker, you probably would just have this page. And that's when I started doing work at inner city Cincinnati. So it was like it was called the Hope Center Recovery Program. This one was in Lexington. And then also at Stepping Stones. What's that?
that's where our friend from.
Oh, really? Okay. And these were actually, yes, my social work internship. So I list that on my resume because that's a big deal. I was a social work intern here also. Because sometimes they'll be like, well, what did you do in 2002 and 2003? Like, why would you have that gap year? You want to have something listed. You don't want to just have nothing. They'll be like, so did you do nothing with your life for an entire year? It doesn't make sense. So that's why I have all these little things in there. I am still clinical social work supervisor at hospice, and that's on Fridays. I help supervise them to get their independent license. I've been at Lighthouse Youth Services. That's one of our new internships we also added to work here at Dayton and Cincinnati branch. And then I was at Ohio Mentor, Claremont Recovery Center, and Stepping Stone. So those were like my paid social work jobs. I guess this was paid too in California because I did law school for a year and a half and I hated it and I dropped out. Yeah, I just don't even put it on my resume. I did 2 years of law school, really, but so during that time I taught English as a second language in 2005. And then in 2006 I dropped out of law school. I hated it. I found out there I was dyslexic. I had 3 shoulder surgeries in the middle of that year from a snowboard accident. It was just hard to keep up. I had a full scholarship to law school too.
Well, so you didn't realize you didn't diagnose with. Well, I don't know if you get diagnosed.
Dyslexia, yeah, you do. You get a diagnosis. So I didn't
You were
know.
older.
Right. Because I did okay in classes until we had that much reading every semester. The books are like that big. Have you seen law school books? You guys want to go to law school? Ooh.
Yeah,
It's possible. When I did it, I had insurance through my parents, and to get the 3 shoulder surgeries, if I dropped out of law school, I wouldn't have insurance. So I stayed in law school. I was getting those surgeries, and like it showed, like I struggled. So I quit. And then you put all the classes you've taught, you put your publications. This is again in academia. Now for you guys, you just would put where you've interned, where you've volunteered, and where you practiced. So that can be a tough one. How about
So like junior, like I'm a sophomore now, so my junior and senior year, I could start volunteering.
you could anytime you could volunteer. Like you've mentioned AmeriCorps, they take people who are 18. They give you housing, they give you a little, maybe you're winterizing affordable housing. Mm-hmm.
Go to a local church or home. I know in Milwaukee, I've been doing community service all summer. So we got something called Milwaukee. Milwaukee Rescue Mission. Just like finding little places in your city. You never know, like a volunteer opportunity, if you like go enough, they can offer you a job, anything. So you just gotta, and I feel like with me volunteering and stuff, I'm getting to see like where I would want to work, like what type of work I would want to do. So then making relationships with different nonprofits in your city or other cities. Even like when I go on vacation and stuff, I always look like before I go, like maybe I can get back to this community while I'm here. You know, there's a lot of different stuff you can do.
Yeah. So
Even on campus, like joining NAACP or FCLA, they'll take you to go do community service certain places. You never know, we may you always gotta be ready with an elevator speech. Hey, my name is such and such, such and such. I'm a social work major at some university. You gotta have it off that.
Mm-hmm.
And the career fairs. I love the career fairs. They love me at the career fairs.
They're gonna have one?
Yeah, I think they is.
I thought if I'm not mistaken, it's today or tomorrow.
I think they're doing career readiness week.
Yeah.
So like getting how to talk to people and different skills and stuff like that up in your resume. But I think they do the fair with all the people that come in like October. Or like September.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff you guys can do. We started out with ACEs, so adverse childhood experiences, and why it's important to have those summer camps for kids and things to do. Is if like, I guess even if I didn't have a summer camp, I would have had nothing to do and gotten a whole lot of trouble in the summertime. Yes.
Our motto is basically give black and brown kids like extraordinary experiences, keep them off the streets of Milwaukee and stuff like that. So it's really geared towards like minority children for the summertime because they do have so much downtime. I was going to that summer camp since I was 12 and I still work there. Like I love it so bad. I got a tattoo, dedicated and everything. Like one summer really changed a kid's life for real. I still talk to all the old counselors I used to have. Been a counselor with them. It's crazy. So if y'all looking for like a entry level job, work at a summer camp.
There's a lot to do with that.
So much. And you learn so many skills like how to diffuse a situation or how to redirect children in meaningful, positive ways without taking away their dignity. And that's what I really like. The training for real. I'm like, I learned about this in class.
Yeah. It's important to have something. I feel like it wasn't until though probably either my sophomore or junior year that I cared to do anything like that.
And as a college student, like it's just it's fun because like you're getting paid to sit there and watch kids and have fun with them. Like I love working with summer camp so much. And they love the college kids and just telling them like all the chants we do here at Central, I teach all my kids all that stuff, and they love it. Encourage them to go to HBCUs, encourage them to go to college because they don't hear about stuff like that at school or at home.
Yeah, so what would they do after high school?
Exactly.
If they finished?
I know kids that come to my summer camp and they at home still in cars, but they still come to camp and have fun. Maybe they'll think after the summer, like, why am I doing this?
Right. Yeah, that'll
get
get you in trouble for a while.
I always
too.
tell them, y'all never too cool to have fun. So just thinking, like talking to them, Like, I'm a regular person just like you are.
Because Milwaukee's close to Chicago too, and that's where a lot of the car thefts and whatnot. I don't know. Is Milwaukee as bad as Chicago, or is it?
You got this group called the Peter Boys. They go around stealing cars. They're like 13 to 12.
And it's just if you left your keys in your ignition, or they know how to
They
like.
can hotwire your car
Really?
with a charger.
Because they're Bluetooth now, right? You don't need keys.
Yeah, but no, they can like break into like the older cars. So not the
Right.
ones like where you press the button and stuff like that. Like the ones that still need keys.
Right.
You put a club on there. You know what a club is?
Yeah, I know
Put
the
a
club
club
well.
on there. They can break through the club. Like they'll break your windows.
Okay.
It's so sad.
Right. Yeah, because maybe you think you would never get a chance to get a job to get a car like that, and you actually could get a job to get a car like that. And it does take some work up front, and there's the waiting, having the chance to like do something for a few years, like a bachelor's degree, to then jump out into the world and do something good and have a job that would be an option for that. So, here we are. No, we're not on 6 yet. We're more like on 5. So, do you guys have any questions about anything? Graduate schools, getting ready for graduate schools.
What is graduate school like? Because I heard that if you get like lower than a B, they basically fail you.
Correct.
C plus.
Correct. But at the same time, they grade based on that way. Because if you got lower than a B, even here, like if you got lower than a C in a social work class, you can't finish with a social work degree.
Right.
You can only have C's.
But that makes sense though, because D's and F's to me are failures.
Right.
So,
Right. So they're just kind of upping the bar one more. Where I remember actually when I started, you were allowed to have 2 C's. And I got 1 C the very first semester. And I actually they changed the rule then to 1 C, and I got a second one. And they're like, well, you came in on the rule that it was 2 C's. And you can retake them now. Can't you still retake them here where if you got a D, you could retake it. So if you're truly working hard, now if you're screwing around and you don't care, you're probably going to get a D or a C and then never ask for retaking it or forgiveness or whatever. But if you do care about it, you go talk to somebody, you talk to the dean, you set it right, you appeal the grade, whatever it takes. You know what I mean? You're fighting for your life. And if they're seeing that you care, they're going to keep you around there, So yeah, don't freak out about that if that's what you're.
Okay, and like another thing, how are the classes there in graduate school?
Very similar to these, mostly papers. So yeah, that's really.
So there's like how we got a sheet that we got to follow, like
The syllabus.
Required classes you got to take.
Correct. Yes, there is totally those because we were looking up for my seniors yesterday, and this is a good place to go into the MSW at Miami, Ohio. This is the fastest one. Are you all from close enough to around here that? What cities are you all from again? I always forget. Indiana? Oh, yeah. This is right on the border of Indiana. So
this is the grad school?
This is where I taught at. So this is one that's really good. I didn't realize that they have both programs, so they can comb their undergraduates into a combined BSW. Actually, yes, they let you take graduate classes your senior year. That's crazy. I know. And you save $4,200. All of the above. So that's one of the things Miami offers. We still have all of these same classes. I bet you could. I feel like they are kind of accredited. Here's what you would have to take for your master's. See, they're only 34 hours. I was telling somebody that OSU is 43 hours. This is only 34 if you get a bachelor's of social work. And that's like a big deal. That's 9 hours less and probably like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 less you're spending. So they do let you start this your senior fall, senior spring, and then advanced stand. So grad summer, grad fall, grad spring, and you're done. 1 year. 1 year and you're done. And okay, here's the MSW program. So this is, like how to apply. Most of you will want to do this your December, your senior year. So if there's any juniors in here, I don't know if you guys are juniors. Okay. So you apply, and that's because they're saying you can't get any of these if you apply after December 1st. They hand out all the money to the people that apply first. And that's just kind of how it is. And then you find out later. So these are the different things you have to do. Here is your curriculum. And it's 9 hours shorter. That I know that probably doesn't seem like a big deal to you guys, but that's like 34 instead of 43 hours. That's a huge deal. So here's your frequently asked questions. Are there any of these you want to look at that would be your questions for grad school? They're all in Miami Middletown because that's where I used to teach them. Well, you can't have a degree without a field placement, even at the bachelor's level. So usually yes, but we try to have internships where like you don't need a car. This is a fun one though. This is the most affordable in the state of Ohio that I remember. So what is 34 times 700? Is that 20,000? 34 times 700. It's like 23,000. I thought it was less than that actually. But Ohio State looked like it was 40,000 and 50,000. IU might be too. It depends. So, they do let you go part-time advanced stand. So if you're going to do a gap year, you could do this part-time traditional and part-time advanced standing. So this is exciting that they do that because you would still have advanced standing, but instead of like that 1 year, you would do summer, fall, spring. Here's part-time. Summer, fall, spring, summer, fall, spring. And you only have to do 34 hours total. 6 plus 6, 18, 21, and then add 13 more. That seems short somehow, doesn't it? It'll only be 30 when you get an MSW. So that's kind of cool, I think. What's that? Oh. Tell them to come join us.
Yeah, the only question I have is it's online, and I don't see.
If they're accredited online. So those are the most expensive programs, though. That's the one challenge. These guys do a hybrid. So Miami's cool where you do class the first week, online the second week, class the third week, online the fourth, class online, class online.
What is that?
This is in Oxford, Ohio, so it's on the border of Indiana. Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. It's supposed to be the most affordable. They used to be combined with the Wright State University Masters, which is like about 10 miles from us. So, and see, these guys pay Google the most or Bing the most, so they get the first. So they are online, but I bet you it's expenses. It's so expensive. I don't even want to look up the price. But if you have the money, you could. I guess Howard has another online one. Capella has an online one. OSU has an online one, but make sure to get your residency here in the state of Ohio, like your last year here. You know what I mean? Like, don't keep using your parents as your where you vote, where your license is, and your address. So if you want to get residency in the state of Ohio, or you take
So
your
you online?
even online, sometimes they make you have residency.
That's crazy. That was the whole point of me wanting to be online because I didn't want to be here.
Right, right. University of Kentucky is a very good online MSW program. That's where I went. And I don't think they charge you tuition. So online MSW UK Lexington. Let's see if it comes up. Yeah, there you go. I don't know how much it is, but they make you request info, but that's kind of their. This is where Nikita's going because it's a 2-year doctorate also. So 1-year master's, 2 years doctorate. There it is. So hopefully they give you the whole breakdown. I guess that's the one that we're in. And then the hybrid is probably just like the Miami, where you're online 1 week, in person the next, online the next week. And so this is down in Lexington, which isn't far from Indiana either. It's okay.
Okay, so have you seen? I've been seeing videos of like traveling social workers.
Oh, I've seen those.
And I think those are so cool.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know how you. I would join a group.
This
Have
lady,
you
she
seen?
like she like lives in hostels and stuff,
Right.
and she like it's amazing. It looks so cool.
So are you following them on Facebook or something?
TikTok.
Okay, because there is a group on Facebook and they help each other get licenses in different states and they're really resourceful. So I've seen that on Facebook and I've joined that as it looks like they get paid a lot.
I feel like because the lady that I was following on TikTok and stuff, she's more into like corporate social work. Like,
Oh, I can see that. Right.
Social work, which I'm not really into,
IO.
but it's just like watching her go to new city,
Right.
live in different kind of houses and stuff. Like she's
Right.
really living a life.
Yeah. It looks fun. I'm with you there. So this is where I went to UK. So this also has a 1-year MSW program. It is all online. I think it's affordable. I don't know. And I guess Nikita would be a good one to ask. She's doing this one right now, the doctorate of social work, and they have a PhD. And
That's so cool. You can get your doctorate in 2 years.
yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Is like, I remember him telling us about it, and I was like, "There's no way I'm getting my doctorate." Sure enough, I did 10 years later. But back then, I'm like, "That's stupid. Who wants a doctorate?"
And this, I don't know. Like I feel like me, like I want to collect degrees.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like if I'm like
For free
bro,
though.
Yeah, like no kids.
Right.
Like, look at my degrees though. Like,
Right.
I feel like that's such a bad bitch move.
Right.
Bad bitch.
And
Oh, they have a joint one here too. What'd you say?
I said, and I'm gonna have them hanging up.
Right. Yeah.
Take the degree.
Well, I have to put one at each of my offices. So I have 5, but I try to keep like one at the private practice, 1 or 2 up here, and then even the hospice one that I do. So
You get like the mini ones for the like PJs and stuff. That's
Yeah.
so cute. Like it's such an accomplishment.
It is a lot of work.
I thrive off
It's-
accomplishments that I can see.
right.
So,
Yeah, it's fun too because I actually did this one at the same time as that doctorate. So MA in theology and pastoral counseling. And I use it at hospice. So I have been paid for it, but my first 2 degrees were almost useless. I could never get a job with these 2 degrees.
okay, another thing. So when it comes to like the bachelor's of arts and bachelor's of science,
Doesn't
Because I'm
matter.
doing the bachelor's.
what's the difference?
It doesn't
What
matter.
is it?
It doesn't
Nothing.
matter. Because I looked it up and like, oh, bachelor of science, some people more likely to hire you. And I know like some people that have got like messed over by Central because it's like, oh, well, you're getting a Bachelor of Science, so you need to take a foreign language. Stuff like
The
that.
license is the most important.
Mhm.
So whether you get the BA or BSSW, licensing is where I got paid $24,000 a year right when I graduated with my MSW, and
How
they
much?
said
Sorry, say that again?
24,000. That was in 2006, but then they said if you do a license, we'll pay you 50% more. So I did it, and they paid me 35,000.
Mhm.
Independent license, I got 42,000 a year. Supervising, I got like 45,000 a year, and these are all like 2010, 2012, 2013 prices. So it doesn't include inflation this year. Now ours will hire you fresh with your MSW. If you get an LSW at hospice, they're paying 68,000 a year for a brand new social worker. I was like, that's
So
a lot of money.
And that's the thing. When it comes to people talking about like, oh, I want to make this much money, I don't know like how much is, I don't
Depends
know,
on
like,
where
how
you
much is a
live.
lot. And that's what I was
In
thinking.
LA, it's like,
24,000 is not a year.
It's not.
No.
And I feel like
it's not great, but you could live off it in Ohio in
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
I feel
It's
I
not
feel like
much.
when I graduate, I'm gonna be living by myself, no kids, only feeding myself. I feel like that's gonna be a lot of money for just me.
Well, rent was
And
$300 a
yeah.
month back then.
And that's what I
Now
was
it's
thinking, like when I get bills and stuff,
1,200.
it's gonna be different. But like
Or one bedroom.
I
right.
don't understand how people have kids and then have to pay for themselves. I'd be forgetting to feed myself like a kid. I get a little dog or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's why they're saying a lot of us. I didn't have my first kid till I was 42 years old
Yeah,
because it's
as you
expensive.
should. And like the first thing people say when I say I'm a social work major is, "Oh, you're not gonna make a lot of money."
I heard that my
don't
whole
care.
life now.
Yeah,
Like I don't
I'm not really
care.
doing it for the money.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not doing it for that.
Right.
And that's what they don't understand.
Yeah.
My daughter just told me that I had to say, oh, I'm going back to school because, I work when I'm on my break. So she was like, oh, yeah. She told me, like, her daughter, I think not her daughter, but like her niece, had told her mom, like, oh, I want to be a social worker. And her mom, and like, the mom was like, no, you don't get paid that much. Do something else. So she chose to be a nurse because, a nurse, you get paid a lot, but you do so much work.
They get burned out.
This. And I'm not working at a hospital. And she'd be like, yeah, a lot of people be leaving. They be doing travel nursing. And they pay a lot more money doing travel nursing. So I was like, yeah, but that's why I'm getting a master's degree. So, I can do more work. I can get a little bit more because I
Right.
want to make it livable for me. I'm not saying I'm expensive, but
That's why
well, yeah.
I kind of am now.
But I'm used to a lifestyle for my mom to provide, and she made this much. I
Yeah.
don't want to get paid $34,000 a year,
Right.
and I'm doing all this work. But
That's fair though. That's fair
But
enough.
it's like she was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. Soldiers don't get paid that much, and it's just like it is what it is, But
Depends on how hard you want to work too, because when I worked at Lighthouse, they will give you 35 per billable hour. And most people see 20 clients a week. So right there, that's 35,000 a year. Now, if you want to see 25 or 30 clients a week, that's already up in your pay to 51,000. People see 35 or 40 clients a week. I think that's pushing burnout,
Yeah,
but
like I said, burnout is real, especially in professions like this.
You gotta keep track of all of that.
right,
And make sure
that's the
you're
hardest
giving your
part.
100% to each client.
Right. So you have options. I wanted to go through that because we are at our midterm, believe it or not. If you didn't turn in your stuff last night, don't panic. It's still open. Midterm grades aren't permanent, so go ahead and turn it in now. I'll look at it. Ideally, I'll look at it, but I'm keeping it open for you guys and wanted to give you the chance. Gosh, I guess it's only given you 23 minutes if I let you go now. To work on it if you have to, but just to turn anything in. But we will get into it. It's a presentation on a major mental health disorder.
Oh, yeah. So I was looking at that.
Uh-huh.
So we got picked a date. And I didn't know, when I was trying to click to pick my date, I didn't see nowhere for me to pick.
Oh, you just write it in.
Oh.
Right. I'm not that technologically advanced. Right. I'm not that good. You just find a Tuesday or Thursday in
Do you want us
October.
to send it to you or like?
You can if you want me to look at it. Like
Oh, whatever.
I'm presenting on alcoholism, addiction, or just come in and present it and we'll film it. Or if you do it digital.
So we're doing a PowerPoint on mental, you said mental health issues.
And like then social work interventions, how social workers can help, why it's important to know about this, just like kind of go down the line. Like,
I'm going to put this. Can you put that on D2L? So
yeah, it's pretty much in the syllabus, but that's like the gist of it. You don't like a syllabus?
No, it's like I forget that we have a syllabus because it's
I know.
online. It's not-
Well, everybody forgets about the syllabus. I know.
If it's not physically in front of me, I'm gonna forget it.
You can print it. If you want to come up to our office, I'll print it for you. But that's your contract. So yeah, it'll be like when you start a job, they're going to give you a contract and here's what you have to do. And if you do this, we pay you this. And then if they try to give you too much work, you can be like, you said I was only going to see 20 clients a week. Why am I seeing 25 hours a week of clients? And you can hold them, say, like that's 25% more. Do I get a 25% raise?
how many slides do you want to be?
Just to cover 15 to 20 minutes, just talking about it. You could show a video. There's good stuff on foster care, food deserts, poverty's effect on mental health, addiction, alcoholism, ACEs, which we've been doing a lot on the past few days, how adverse childhood experiences affect you. You could do the stages of development that we're getting into this next chapter. Do we ever finish chapter 4? I can't remember. You don't know. So that's chapter 5. Chapter 6 is middle childhood, but when we did chapter 4, it looked like this.
So for like the PowerPoint for the project, we pick one mental health or
Like your favorite mental health topic, or like why you wanted. What's that?
Oh, I was
Go ahead.
no, you're the teacher. You could explain it better than me. Go ahead.
I'm just saying anything that like made you want to be a social worker in the first place, like that would be the best because then you're passionate about it. Even if it is, yeah, we did finish these. Okay. Father involvement, playing with baby, daycare, infant abuse. Daycare is what's so dang expensive. That's the hardest part about everything. It's expensive. Right. Well, and our parents have to do what they got to do to pay for us. Did you like it?
mine
They could be bad. They might even smack you too.
Yeah, some daycares are bad. Like nowadays, I wouldn't trust with my kids.
They could be shut down for that. But yeah, that's sometimes what happens.
I went to a daycare at my church.
That's good.
Yeah, it was basically the same people that I went to church with.
Okay.
so they leave your mom.
Yeah, they were afraid to smack you down, maybe. Or they'd talk to your mom and she'd smack you down. Like, you can't do that. Okay.
For me, it was different because when I started school, it was when I guess it was against the law for teachers to hit.
It's supposed to be. I mean, it was.
I think they just made it. I don't know.
Like my teacher used to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
That might have been like your parents signed a waiver for that. You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
I mean, they hit us. I would have nuns hit me with the rulers. I want it right correctly and stuff like that. But they're not supposed to do that. That's one of the ACEs, really. That is an adverse childhood experience.
I hated going to daycare because I couldn't really make any friends, and I was a huge crybaby too. So they could yell at me, and I just started busting tears.
Mm-hmm.
So I hated it. And then I didn't we had this one old teacher. Her name was Miss Shirley.
That's always the old teacher's name.
Oh my God. When she get mad, I just sat there and I was older than all the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just I just sit there watching her hit these kids. And then this old woman, I did something with her and the two sons. She got mad and she hit the other kid right in front of the mama, and the mama just stood there.
Really?
Bro stuck. And then I'm stuck. My mama's just okay. And then the kid, he just laying on the ground going in a circle and he just crying. And she was like, don't hit my kid. And then she get her kid and was like, don't hit each other. And I'm like, are y'all I'm just saying okay. I just always hated daycares after that. I don't
Right, yeah. It's definitely
And then
a tough one.
And the teacher used to yell at you too.
They get all mad when you guys do bad stuff. Like,
They weren't mad. It was just like they would get overly, like they would just get angry over like simple things. Like
Mhm.
you realize these are like 3-year-olds. I don't know. I just hated it.
I'm trying to find a blank check sheet. They keep checks. That way you are in control of your own destiny. So SPOW? No, hang on it. I was trying to send the check sheet out for anybody that emails me. So I'm gonna share link. That's what I'm gonna do. Is just download it from Dropbox. Copy link. Okay. That's how we do it. Okay. What's that? Who's that?
The Reverend okay, but she holds service at 2:00 every.
Oh, I didn't know we had one. Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I'm gonna ask her if I can do some community service with her.
Oh, yeah. You ever hand out the food on Tuesdays, that first of the month?
No, and I was actually trying to see if I can talk to somebody about doing that.
You can just show up. Yeah. Yeah. That's a big deal. I bet this year it'll be so expensive to buy a turkey dinner. It's going to be sad. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, ooh, they about to go crazy on these prices for the holidays.
It's going to be sad. I don't even want to think about it. But we're going to get through it. We're all going to start growing our own food, chickens and bees. And
Oh my God, Mr. Charles, I'm growing a pumpkin at home, and I cannot.
Is it already growing? Like,
Yes, it's like.
what, in Milwaukee?
Yep.
So-
I started growing make a pumpkin cheesecake.
Halloween?
A pumpkin cheesecake.
So when's the first freeze in Milwaukee? Here it's like October 15th.
I feel like warm and been like.
Maybe it'll change it, but it'll die when it freezes. And that's most growth. It is fun to grow stuff. Like, and pumpkins come out of the like weed. You just like throw it in the back and it grows. So we're gonna just have to grow in food. But this is our chapter for next week. I still wanted to give you guys time to do that. If you email me, I'll send you a link to the check sheet. I hope it opens. Okay. And then if you download it to your computer.
got my stuff on here.
Oh.
So like everything I took, it already got the grade.
Well, that is a check sheet that I had that you might have to delete it and put your actual grade. So you were
Come on, now
Like,
you know what's yours.
No, because I'm looking at it like some of my stuff was like they actually grade and stuff that I got.
well, then you can keep it, yeah.
For yours. Look at your transcript.
But download
Like,
it,
I know I
save
can
it,
see this fact it's on here.
save it to your own hard drive, write your name on it, and then own it. And save it to Google Drive, maybe, but save it where it's your own sheet. And yeah, you might have to delete some of those grades. That's just the only one I can find at the moment.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that mine got my stuff.
You're like, here's how you delete it out, like
Right.
this. We can go over that nonviolent communication game next time because that's a fun group too, though. Grok the World group. We'll do this one next time too. So do you guys have any other questions about life in general? How to survive at life? It's tough. So it's about nonviolent communication. We had a really good video yesterday that I showed, and of course now I can't find it. But how to like resolve conflicts, how to talk. This is the founder of it. That dude died a few years ago, but he has good stuff. Well, the one we found yesterday was about the toilet seat. It was hilarious. Yeah, you ever have the toilet seat argument with anybody? Yeah. Right. That's why it was so good. If I could find it again, of course I can't find it. It was on Facebook. There it is. All right. Well, we'll watch it next time because we're done. But it's hilarious. Because they're saying, like, how can you say it in a fight, Now, how can you use like feeling words and like say like it affects my safety, PR, but like, you know, so you should put it up and remember it's just what
So annoying.
is
Why?
oh the toilet seat.
Yeah.
Well, right, that's
But I did it in the toilet.
that's what they're talking about.
Oh, no. What do you
You
mean?
are always forgetting to put the lid in. And I have to tell you one.
So the reason they have a giraffe is because it is the land mammal that has the biggest heart. It's supposed to be compassionate, and it'll here. And then they have the jackal because he like is judgmental and likes to kill things and eat things, and it's our judgmental self. The giraffe is the nonviolent communication, like kind and loving. They have a long neck so they can see above everybody if other stuff's going on in their life. So that's kind of the game that you learn nonviolent communication with. But they do 10 minutes on the toilet. Right, I know. I'll take forever to find it again. There's so many things I want to show you guys, but it's hard to remember them all whenever I try. Yeah. Oh, that's nothing. Have you seen this one? It's even worse. We'd wait for the teacher to turn around high school and be like that. Yeah, we were bad. We were bad kids.
I feel like stuff like this is really important because, like, it may seem like corny, like how they sit there laughing.
It is. It is.
It just goes to show like how small the argument is and how
Right.
how someone sees it is like so important.
Instead of fighting. So the
Yeah.
point is like they have a discussion. She says why it is important to her. I think they talk about now there's a toilet seat that will go down automatically. Or you like wave. It's like, I see, it's for people that fight a lot. Or you have the men's bathroom and the women's bathroom.
When I get married, I'm gonna have a separate bathroom.
They have them. See, look at that on Amazon. Smart toilet.
I don't like toilets that automatically flush.
Oh, I hate those too. Is then it like splashes up
Yeah,
on you.
it
It's
doesn't-
gross.
It doesn't flush when you want it to flush.
So this has basically two decks of cards. One of them is your unmet need, and the other one is the feeling, like when you get pee all over you. And that's, yeah. Oh, I do. Here you go. Look at that. I'm on top of it somehow. I even have a pen if you needed it too. I usually don't have the pen. So yes, if you, before my computer dies, we'll see you guys next week. We got 1% left.
Or I should keep that